Here we go. No. I got something else.
Right.
We're good. We're good. I got this. Yes.
Oh.
All right. Here we go. Hold on a second, everyone. Switching up. Every Florida Gators QB since Tim Tebow tier list.
My.
Here we go. This.
Well, not all these are QBs.
Oh, these aren't all QBs?
Go back down again. Oh, that's probably.
All right. Okay. Which means, all right, here we go. Add row above.
You already have. Oh.
The Gator Heisman. Given by Dadalus himself to one of these great players. Now, obviously, Tim's not on here, otherwise he would win.
This is after Tim?
This is after Tim.
Well, that's our problem. Our teams
we
got some sucky ass.
It doesn't matter. We have to put it. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, you get to rate the best of the worst. Come on in a little closer.
There's going to be a lot of worse. That's been our problem for a long time.
All right, here we go.
And so many, I probably forgot some of them myself.
All right, number 3. You should know these people.
Well, I think
you have to know these people.
I think that's Trayon Harris. Way back in the day.
Do you want me to look it up?
Well, I don't know.
I will look it up.
Type in what number was Trayon Harris.
I'll look it up on my phone. All right.
I want to say that's Trayon Harris. Well, we got 2 number 3s.
Harris.
If they're calling them quarterbacks. This might not, because we had a safety that was a
misspelled his name. He was number 3. Yeah, that's him. His exact picture here. Exact one. Well, basically.
I got it. Trayon Harris was
here we go.
Decent. He was a kid back in the day when we had a turd in a punch bowl, and actually he got in trouble to say he punched his girlfriend. I remember talking to my friend Bill. I was like, "Oh, we got to get him cleared. I'm not sure he punched it," because that was the best quarterback we had. We went up to Tennessee.
No ulterior motives.
And the game was so bad because Florida-Tennessee was so bad that year. What was that like? 2000, maybe 13 or 14 or 15. We still beat them by like a field goal, and both teams were trash. And Trayon Harris, and to this day, if you ask a Tennessee, they go, "I can't believe we lost to Trayon Harris. Should have never been a quarterback. Should have I'll go decent just because he did do a few things. He could run around pretty good. But other than that, no.
All right.
Okay, this
number
looks like
6.
I thought he was a waste of talent because I actually thought he was actually in the NFL.
Do you know is it him?
Yeah, I got to get his name. Dressler. Jeff Dressler. Jeff Dressler.
Is that correct?
Yeah, type in
Jeff
Drexler. Was it Drexler or Dressler? I'm thinking it's Drexler.
Hold on, Drexler. That's coming up.
Number 6.
I don't think that's him. Hold on, Dressler.
You know how you could do it? Just look up quarterbacks from Florida quarterbacks from 2010 to 2020.
All right, hold on. I'll look it up.
That's easier. It'll list them all.
I'm surprised you don't know, Mr.
I do. It's Jeff Drexler.
Quarterbacks.
2010 to 2020. It'll give you all. That way I can say is that because I'm telling you
right now. Yeah, it's going to come up. All right, here we go. Here, list of the starting quarterbacks. Here we go. Okay, here we go.
Do you see a Jeff Dressler?
Hold on, I'm going to go down. It's giving me a long list. Okay, here we go. When do I need to start?
It's like 2015, I think he was there.
2015? Okay, here we go.
Oh, Coach Dumbass left there. Look at 2012.
Trayon Harris. Will Grier? Is that
Will
him?
Grier. He's
okay, he's on there. Okay. You said Luke Dressler, right?
No, Jeff Dressler. Jeff
Dressler. He's not on here.
Is there a Dressler?
Yeah, he's 2012, 2014.
Okay, yeah, Coach Dumbass. Was it Joe? What's his name? Jeff Driscoll. Driscoll.
I remember.
Here's the thing about Driscoll.
I remember
this guy's talent was wasted.
I remember you saying
Coach. Can I say?
It's your day. You can say whatever you want.
Coach Dumbass.
Can you give them the real name so they know who you're talking
Will
about?
Muschamp. Will Muschamp, if he could, he would punt on first down. He's a defensive guy. He never wanted to put his defense in a bad situation. His offense was as plain. You want to know what his offense was? Go back to 1990 and watch Alabama 1990. That's what it was. It was there. Gene Stallings, boring I formation. This kid really was fast. I'm telling you, of all the quarterbacks we've had, other than AR, I think he was the biggest waste. I think he had so much out and they ruined him.
So what should we put him as?
So I have to put him. I'm gonna put him as just decent. I'm sorry. He'd probably be no good, not good because they ruined him. But he had his moments, and I think he's still in the NFL now. I think. What a talent! You gave him to a couple other coaches, he would have been
Good
great.
old Saban.
No, even some Florida. Look, I didn't like Dan Mullen, but if you gave him Dan Mullen, would have made him a good quarterback.
All right, number 12.
Which 12 would that have been? I'm trying to look at the uniform. That looks like.
Let me see if I can't find it.
That looks like.
Well, these don't have that.
He was a transfer from Purdue. We had him for 1 year.
Tyler Murphy.
No.
Skylar Mornway.
No.
Will Grier. Luke Del Rio.
No.
Austin Appleby.
That's it.
Okay.
Number 12?
Austin
Yeah.
Appleby. Okay.
Austin Appleby. Nah, I mean, he transferred. That's what I'm saying. When those last two coaches, especially Dan Mullen, the recruiting was so bad, he went and just grabbed this kid because he had 1 year left. Back in those days, you couldn't transfer unless you were a senior. That was terrible. So I'm going to say not good. Not great.
All right, number
Oh, that's Felipe Franks. What a punk. I had so much hope for him as a Florida kid, just dumber than dirt. Was a punk. He would score a touchdown. He pointed at the fans. Because look, if you're going to play quarterback for Florida, you better have thick skin. Or do you play for Georgia? They'll boo you. If you're bad, they're going to let you know. Alabama, if you're not good, they're going to let you know. Well, Florida's the same way. We've had a lot of great quarterbacks up until this run. And so he would be bad, and he would act like a jackass. He would score. He'd make fun, make gestures at the fans because they had maybe been upset with him during the week. He was afraid. Here's his problem. He could throw the ball through a brick wall, but he was afraid of the rush. I got told that. I called up on this sport. I do sports talk radio. I call in Gainesville, and I'd be like, hey, his problem is when the ball's hyped, he runs to the outside. He watches the defensive end. He's afraid of being hit. And if I'm watching you, I can't see my receiver. I've seen games. We played Michigan in a bowl game, and he had a wide receiver, Kadarius Toney, literally 8 feet in front of him in the end zone. Nobody within 5 yards.
Remember,
totally missed him because he saw the rush.
But running away is okay.
So we're going to go terrible. You see, and then he transferred his last year to Arkansas. Was terrible there.
All right, number 5.
That looks like the one who just left, Emory Jones. Number 5 is Emory Jones.
I don't know.
It's Emory Jones.
Okay. Oh, that is new.
Yeah, he just left 2 years ago. AR was playing against him. Good kid. He was okay. I'm going to go good starter. Actually, in the Alabama game that we lost, I'm going to go good starter. I mean,
Really?
I'm trying to give him a little bit because none of them are any good. But when we played Alabama 2 years ago, and we lost by because we missed it.
Do we need to get rid of this?
There's not going to be. It's going to be blank.
We'll see what we do.
It's going to be blank. Oh, wait. There should be one in there. Yes,
Okay,
there's
okay,
one
okay.
in there.
All right, so
I don't see him. But yeah, I mean, the Alabama game, he was great. And he threw more interceptions. He was just AR should have started the year he started.
Yes.
And
I remember Jones.
Oh, I see the great one. Okay.
Number 14.
That's Skylar Morningway. You could just put him. Do we have below tier? He has no. His dad was an NFL coach, and I think that he did a little strings to get at Florida staff. But he played under Coach Dumbass. This kid should have been Division III. Just
wow. That's wild.
They put him in against. I think we played Georgia Southern with Coach Dumbass and lost. The Georgia Southern. That's like when Michigan lost.
That's like losing to Vanderbilt.
No, that's worse by a mile.
Oh, jeez. I was trying to think of
No, that's like Michigan losing to
what division are
Appalachian
they?
State. Like
division?
2 or 3. And he comes in the game. We'll move on. You understand the last 10 years, other than one on there? Well, 2. I see another one.
This was supposed to be a good tier list celebrating.
No, that's why we've been terrible, is because we had Coach Dumbass that didn't believe in offense. He had some offensive coordinators, but you're going to run the ball, you're going to run the ball, you're going to run the ball. And it came into a look, you want to win in the state of Florida? There's nobody in this country faster than players in the state of Florida. Steve Spurrier, Urban Meyer, these guys, even Dan Mullen, when he had talent, not that he recruited them, is when somebody brought in Florida talent, we'll whip your ass every day of the week. And that's what we're trying to get back to. Keep our kids from going to these other schools. Keep them here. You win titles easy. But he would bring them in tight. Well, if I have speed, spur them, spread them out. And it's over. It's over. And so with these days, he ruined some of these quarterbacks. It was awful.
All right, number 3.
Well, that's got to be Treon Harris again. We only had one quarterback. I think they doubled it up.
You sure?
Yeah, that's Treon Harris.
You sure?
Yes, we didn't have another 3 quarterback. They doubled it up.
Are you positive?
Yes.
All right, we'll go over here.
Yes.
Don't worry. Number.
Oh, that's AR-15.
15.
Okay, the thing
AR,
about
baby,
AR,
the newest one.
AR is in a
AR.
different timeline. If this was 4 years ago where you couldn't leave, the rule the NFL set was in order to go to the NFL draft, this isn't the NBA. The NBA, you come out of high school and go right to the NBA draft. Mm-hmm. And the NBA's like, oh. Well, the NFL knows that college football has been great for the NFL. They teach their kids, get them ready, come up. They don't have to have another league and all that. College has been great for them. So the NFL's rule is you have to be out of high school 3 years before you're eligible for the draft. Doesn't mean you have to play, but you have to have been out of high school for 3 years.
Out of high school?
Yes. So if you graduate, you can't get.
Oh, high school. I was thinking college. Never mind. Continue.
No. So, like, if you're the greatest player
so
ever.
So a junior is the earliest you can go.
Yes. Yes, you have to be. No, you can be a sophomore. You can be a red shirt. You mean because a red shirt? They call you a red shirt. You do that kind of stuff.
No, but you have to be a junior in college.
No, you have to because you could be red shirted your first year.
No, but in college studies.
No.
Towards your AA or whatever.
No, you just have to be out of high school 3 year calendar.
But you have to be going to a college.
No. You don't even have. You can just leave high school if you think you're good enough. If you're good enough, don't go to college. And in 3 years, you can go to the draft. It's 3 calendar years.
Does anyone ever do that?
No. You're not going to learn enough. Your body's not going to be big enough.
Right.
So if this was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, AR would have been forced to stay on a team. He would have learned stuff like that. But nowadays, because of redshirting, how they do quarterbacks, he really only got 1 year. I tell people, he's there on that team for 3 years. His first year, he did absolutely nothing. His second year was with Emory Jones. He should have started.
He got like 3 games.
No, his second year, he got 2 games.
That's what I meant. Yeah, you got like 2
His second
games.
year. First year did nothing.
I know, but he got like 3 games.
He got two games, and then he played this year.
I know.
So that's basically
but
14
he wasn't
games.
great this past year.
Okay, I'm going to try this one more time. The only way you learn is by playing. So the first 2 years the first year was, forget it.
Of course.
The second year, you got to play 2 games. You don't learn, even in practice, you have to be playing. His third year. But if you watch, and I've watched a lot of NFL guys since the draft, I've watched them all, and they're like, this guy's way better. People say every game he progressed, he got better. Mistakes he made in the first quarter, he did not make in the second quarter. Game to game, and then he had games where, yes, he was bad.
So you're saying he didn't have enough time to cook.
He didn't. Exactly. If he had, okay, what team do I hate the most on this planet?
Does Florida State or Georgia? One of the two. Georgia only because they're winning so much. I don't know what your hatred is.
There's one. Florida State. Yes. No, don't even go there. I'm not worried about Georgia. We'll be right back at it. It doesn't matter. At least they have a real fan base that's been around forever.
Oh, okay.
Florida State's a bunch of
Be nice.
But they have a quarterback 3 years ago. Travis Henry, I think is his name. I watched him play 3 years ago, maybe 4. Time's flying. When I watched him play, I was like, this guy's a wide receiver. He's awful. He couldn't throw the ball and hit that door back there. Seriously, I'm not kidding. He was the worst I have ever seen. But, man, he could scramble. So then the next year they played, that might have been the COVID year, still got awful terrible, but he started to make a couple throws. And then the next year, I know last year when I watched him, I was like, is this the same kid? His
experience,
movement,
baby.
Obviously. But he's learning in the game how to plant your body.
Baby.
He's actually he's going to come back. So that must have been his third year because he's coming back this year. He's really a good quarterback. He threw some beautiful passes all year. I was like, is that the same kid? But that's what happens when you get to play. So let's say AR was him. And every year you got a little better. So when AR had graduated, he would have been the 4th round.
So in an alternate timeline, he'd be all-time great.
But NFL
right
today, NFL Today, and all the guys I was watching said, I'm like, how did he go to 4th pick? He was decent is where I'm going to put him.
Wow.
Because the NFL is like the NBA. They do it on talent. After Mahomes came out and Josh Allen, both those guys were 50, 60% passers. Not very good, but they could move. But once they got in the NFL and they got to play and got some teaching, these guys are superstars. And so they're going, wait a minute.
If we find the raw talent, the diamond in the
We
rough.
cannot allow, I heard the GM of the Colts say, there was no way I was going to allow this kid to go to another team and take the chance that he's the next Josh Allen or Mahomes. If I pick him and he busts, then it's just a first-round pick. It's on me. But if he's not, so you're going to what you think he could be. And if he's a bust in 3 years, I'll go just get another one. But if he's not, you may have one of the greatest quarterbacks in the next 10 years. Mm-hmm. He's got athletic ability that nobody's had ever in the quarterback. So if he'd have stayed, he could have been all-time. But he left. I thought he had some great games. He had some bad games. But that's his first year, just like the kid I told you before, 3 years ago.
So decent.
He's decent. Nothing great. Lost. He flat out lost us the Kentucky game. Second game he's ever played. He made some bad decisions. Threw some ugly picks. Pick sixes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Didn't do it again. Even though dad's going on, he still had some bad. But even great quarterbacks will have some bad plays.
Yeah. All right. Number 12.
Okay, that is he's a legacy. He was the first quarterback for Coach
What's
Dumbass. Brantley. John Brantley.
Look at this thing.
Look for 2010, 2011.
Wow, he's old. Oh, man.
10, 11.
John
12.
Brantley, yeah. Just 10, 2011.
John Brantley was, his dad was a Gator great in the 70s, a wide receiver. And his cousin was a linebacker. And I'm talking to you, he would hit you so hard. The coaches, the medical staff told his uncle, you need to quit playing football. One more hit on your spine, you could be paralyzed. He says, I'll take the chance. He loved football. He's a play-by-play guy now. He had the potential more than Driscoll. This guy right here was a 5-star. Everybody wanted him out of Ocala. He was going to go to Texas, but he's like, man, my dad was a Gator. My uncle was a Gator. I want to be a Gator. But what happened? He went there at the exact same time Coach Dumbass went there. Medusa.
What should he be?
Not great.
Really? That
nothing.
Low?
Terrible. Completely. The offense, they didn't let him. It was
What the
sad,
crap are you doing out there?
Actually,
that is sad.
The kid could have been great with a real quarterback coach.
Oh, no!
More of this.
It's all about your coach and the offense they run.
All right. Number 11.
All right. You can go up to the Heisman. Jeff Driscoll should have won the Heisman. So any Alabama rednecks out there, if you're listening, you know what you can kiss? It's called my grits. This guy in 2020 lit it up. He had more touchdowns. This kid lit it up. And what cost him was that jackass coach.
Okay, stop.
This idiot coach. We're rolling. Dan Mullen, who always plays great for the great teams and screws up for the little teams. And LSU that year, even LSU fans will tell you it was the worst year. It was a throw-in season. Half the players left. It was a toilet season. Mm-hmm. And because of COVID, LSU is usually the third or fourth. No, it's usually like the 5th game of the season, but it got moved. Remember COVID? You never have players. So they put it at the end of the year. So we just played Florida State. We just crushed them into oblivion. So Dan Mullen, the stupidity that he is, rested like 4 players. Our best people. And we had a horrible attitude team. That was a game we had a party. It's like, I don't ever miss a Gator game. I was like, okay, I'll tape it.
Yeah, he did, and he never missed it.
You don't understand.
No. He once again, the story, he almost missed my birth for one. There you go. And that's not hitting on it. It's like, that's the level.
Yes. And they played terrible. It was a fog.
And you skipped it because you're like, oh, they win. This one I can bank.
Yep. And that was a shoot throw game. So it was a couple fluke interceptions. It was 2 of our best wide receivers sitting on. When you tell your best player you don't have to play, what signal does that send to the rest of your players?
I know.
This is LSU. Anything can happen. It was the worst. But he was ahead of the Heisman that year. He was throwing 6 touchdown passes a game. This guy he had like 4 interceptions. So the last game of the year, he sits his wide receivers. He knows the best. Couple picks he threw, but even that he brought him right down the field. But I'll never forget it. That was a shoe throwing game where there was like a minute and something left. We're tied. The fog is real thick. We finally stopped LSU. Made a tackle. Finally, our defense the last 4 years has been atrocious, where we've always had insane defenses. So the kid, because it's Dan Mullen, you are off the captain, like in a company, the people take the flavor of the lead. And Dan Mullen let people do what they want. He was a clown. So these guys were punks on the field, so they tackled us short of the first down. It's a fourth down now. They're going to punt us the ball with a little less than about a minute left or whatever it might have been. The kid,
Character,
so because he gets
integrity,
because he gets tackled,
always comes through.
And he's rolling on the ground, the guy tackling pulls his shoe off. It happened, no big deal. But one kid picks up the shoe and chunks it down the field like 15 yards.
It's always about
so the ref is like, really? Throws the flag, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
For so now, character.
Yeah, now what I hate is the fact that not only that, but the next kid who finally made a tackle standing over him like this, like I did something. Where were you all game?
Character.
That team with the new coach, that stuff. I love this guy. The character of what this guy is. So the punts are gone. So he throws it. So it's 15 yards. They get a first down automatically. So we stop them. So now it's a 55-yard field goal in fog, and you could barely see the uprights. I'm listening on the radio because I couldn't take it anymore. I was at the party. I was like walking around the backyard listening to it.
You were back to your old self. Where
you had no idea.
I can't.
You had no idea.
The man who is
the words that were flowing.
He has always been kind to us. There's been nothing wrong. I want to put that out there right now. Internet, do not. However, he has been very angry. He has punched holes in walls, and he has thrown chairs and pools.
I've smashed it. So I'm listening.
So he's back to
that. Kid kicks and makes a 55-yard field goal.
You gotta give him credit for that. That's pretty good.
I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So now there's like 30 seconds left, and Kyle Trask moves him right down the field again. Beautiful passes.
This is Trask?
Yeah, it's Kyle Trask, number 11. Did I say Driscoll?
I think you've been saying Driscoll.
Kyle Trask. He's with the Buccaneers right now. He was insane all year. I just can't tell you. Here's you talk about more of the story. Good Christian boy. Hard worker, Eagle Scout. He's from Texas. The only scholarships he was given was some little Division III school and the University of Florida. He said he thought they were joking when he got the call to come to Florida. He's like, that's a joke. I mean, everybody goes to Florida. Like, I'm going to go to like William and Mary's Southern. He's like, yeah, because he went to a quarterback camp, and he was a backup in high school, but he was really good, and that's the only thing Mac and Cheese did. He recognized him. Mac and Cheese, I think, could have been a good coach, but not at this level. A small level. He's a really good coach, but stage is too big. So he offered him a scholarship, and man, I'm telling you, I said for years before he got to play, because he was playing behind this idiot.
This guy, sorry.
Felipe Franks.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, I would call in every week. They got to put Trask in. He's way better. But
I remember you doing that. I remember.
Dan Mullen loved him for whatever reason. And if that kid hadn't have broke his leg, remember we were playing Kentucky.
Yes.
We're losing. He gets his leg broke. There's less than 7 minutes in the game. We're down 14 points or whatever. Trask comes in. Trask comes in, lights him up, 3 touchdowns, scores at the last part of the game. He ate them alive and kept them. He would have never made the field. And then the next year, he transfers. He's winning the Heisman until Dan Mullen in that game. So he moves him down the field. Now we have to kick a 50-yard field goal. We miss it. They win the game by 3. Cost him a Heisman. Because of that, because the kid at Alabama, the wide receiver, had a pretty big game. This is a quarterback. Threw more touch. I said he threw more touch. The kid at Alabama, who's a quarterback, is now with the Saints, Patriots.
Okay.
Starter Max Jones, who I think, like you say, you'll see him in the NFL. He's just a guy. He's way better. And he got a Heisman because of stupid Dan Mullen. And then what happens then? Now they have to play Alabama in the championship game. he lights Alabama's butt up. Lights them up. If it wasn't for our defense, and remember, we only lost by a touchdown. At the end of the game, we're driving, but we run out of time. Jeff Driscoll, Kyle Trask.
Good gosh.
Kyle Trask, I don't even think he threw a pick. He lit him up, Al. I'm telling you, we had Alabama's on the ropes. And then, so what happened? The bowl game, all the players don't play. So now he's got all new. He threw like 3 interceptions with a bunch of kids. He just played Oklahoma. We got hammered. He should have won the Heisman, is my point. Great quarterback. I'm talking generational great. I hope the Bucks drafted him, and he's played in some preseason games. You're not going to play in front of Tom Brady, but now Tom Brady's gone. Don't be surprised if he don't get. I'm telling you, he is a great quarterback. And my point is, when Dan Mullen took the job, he brought on Emory Jones. Emory Jones was Dan Mullen's first. There he is. He was a 4-star, 5-star quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So your guy's not. He didn't draft him, or he didn't recruit him, but he stayed. And Dan Mullen said, I asked him, I can help you transfer. He says, I love it here. I'm just going to work hard if it's okay with you. I might be able to win the job. I'm just going to keep. And then the year before he took the job, he injured his ankle. He was going to have the starting job in a game. He got injured in practice. So Felipe Franks kept the job until the next year. So perseverance. He never stopped working. If you guys look at this guy's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
That's awesome. Okay.
Is that when they wore that? Oh my gosh, that's when they wore that stupid. I can't even recognize who that is. That would have been.
I can't help. I can list some
To
names.
be honest, I'm trying to think who the quarterback was, because that right there.
Let me say some names. John Brantley.
No, we already did.
Jacoby Brissett.
See, I'm thinking that's percent. Did they have their numbers?
I can look it up.
Because I know that one year they won that stupid alligator dumbass uniform.
Okay, all right. Is he Brissett's 14?
No, Brissett, he was 14?
He's 14. Wait, no,
12.
Oh, that's when he's with the Dolphins. Hold on.
Yeah. He was 12.
College.
Brissett was 12.
2011. Give me his number.
Well, that's 12. Brissett's 12.
Okay.
I can't tell who that. I don't remember who that was right there. That would have been 2017. Does that give you years?
2017, yeah. Luke Del Rio.
No, okay, go. What about 16?
Austin Appleby. We already had.
No. What about 18? No.
Malik Zaire.
That's him.
There.
Yeah, he was a transfer from Notre Dame. I forgot he played 1 year. And he played in bits and pieces. Nah, he's terrible.
17.
Was that Luke Del Rio? Was Luke Del Rio 17? Does it say?
Oh my God, it does not say.
Oh, it doesn't? Okay. No, Luke Del Rio I thought was 12.
You're supposed to know these things.
Was Luke Del Rio 17? I thought he was 12. No, I thought he was 14. No, that's Luke Del Rio. Hold on, I got that back. Luke Del Rio was 14.
Yeah, he's 14, yes.
Okay, so Luke Del Rio actually was decent. This guy right here.
Hold on, let me move him. 14.
He was decent. He really was. He saved our bacon. He beat Jordan. And then he got his collarbone broken.
Oh.
He came back.
So he's DC's.
His dad was the head coach of the Jaguars.
Okay. Yeah, I know that name. That last one.
This
He's 17.
That might be the one I said was terrible. Austin.
Appleby.
No, that was it. What was it? I said the coach's son.
Oh God. Will Grier?
No.
Driscoll?
No, look at 12,
Brissett?
13.
John Brantley?
No, 12, 13, maybe 14.
Tyler Murphy?
No.
Jaron Harris? Nobody did that. Felipe Franks?
No.
Kyle Trask? No.
No.
Emory Jones?
No. You're going too high.
I am going too high.
Where's 2010, 11, 12? There would have been like 12.
John Brantley?
No.
Tim Tebow? No, it's
12,
after that.
12, 11.
Jacoby Brissett?
No.
Jeff Driscoll? Tyler Murphy?
It's Morningway. Skylar Morningway.
Yeah, wait, I said that.
Oh, no, I think that's him.
Is that him?
Yeah. Okay, that's Jacoby Brissett. He actually transferred because Coach Dumbass
12,
was
right?
so bad. He actually played at NC State for a while. He was he was a Colts quarterback for a little bit. So he was decent. Not great. Not great.
Really?
Okay.
Why?
He was just Lethbridge.
Okay.
All right, this
7.
one is Will Greer. Will Greer transferred to West Virginia. This is a kid that took the because mac and cheese. I told you he came from a small program. They had no weight. Remember I told you had no strength and conditioning coach? They really did. They had guys going to a spa to work out. Luke Del Rio said, he's like, what a joke. He said, man, I went to a spa to do my own fitness. So they have all the protein shakes you want. But for that mac and cheese, God, what a mistake he was. So he went and bought his own stuff at GNC, and it had some stuff in it that you can't take. He had an insane. He was like a 5-star quarterback. We had him for like 7 games. Ole Miss came in, and they were number 3 or 4 in the country, and we were just kind of struck as after Coach Dumbass, and we lit him up, beat him. And he had a great game.
Was it
And
because
the
of the
next
stuff?
week, no. He was a real skinny kid, so he's trying to put on weight. And you can go to the athletic department; they'll give you everything you need to build that bulk, but they know what's in it. He went to GNC.
Why?
Because Florida did have a weight. I mean, Coach
They
Mac
still
and
would have given him
Cheese.
the stuff.
It was so disarray. There was nobody to go ask. So he got hit by the NCAA. He was disqualified. So he transferred and sat out a year and then played at West Virginia. So do I judge him on the few games he played for me?
Yeah,
Because he had a
that's all
game
he
that beat Tennessee and he
As a Gator.
40 seconds left, he beat Tennessee to pass another dagger in the heart.
As a Gator.
So I'm going to say good starter. He was just on his way. I think that's Trayon Harris. So look at all those crappy quarterbacks we had. Honestly, Brantley, Jacoby Brissett, he didn't look too well, but really Jeff Driscoll, obviously AR. I think most of these guys with a good coach, I don't think he ever would have been great. And he was with Dan Mullen. He was a horrible recruiter, great game day coach if he was playing a big team. So many other things was god-awful at. Some of these could have been all-time greats. I think they had talent more than the great quarterbacks we had. You got to have the coaching and the players.
All right, so this was
So
not
now
bad.
you want to know why we sucked for the last 10 years? Look at this.
I thought this would be a happier one. I'm sorry. I thought this would be more happy. I apologize. I did not realize how.
I'm happy. But it's reality. It just
Yeah.
reminds me of why for 10 years. Well, when Dan Mullen got there, Mac and Cheese actually brought in some pretty good talent. It was hard coming back from Coach Dumbass. Although we had an NFL defense with Coach Dumbass. We were shutting people down. If you scored 18
special
points against us, 17, we held Alabama in the championship games.
It was a
to
giant shield.
15 points. I mean, we were. But then after that, with Mac and Cheese and then Mullen, the recruiting, especially defense. I mean, which is not normal for us.
You mean offense?
No, for defense, just
Because he was the one who had, yeah.
But Mac and Cheese did bring some decent players in with the right. Because when Dan Mullen got there, he had some good. He had Kyle Trask, and he brought in Emory Jones, who wasn't a bad quarterback, and Franks was serving. He did make Franks better. Franks was terrible for Dan Mullen. So he had some pieces of the puzzle. But then after his second year, going into his third year, now he's not replenishing. He's not going to the grocery store stocking. Yeah. So his third year and fourth just because
plummeted.
He didn't recruit.
Okay.
So now that's why the guy now is trying to build it back up. It's gonna take a couple of years. That's just fact.
Well, Dadalus, I hope that the hope is there. I'm sorry that this was not the happiest.
What is that? What was Star Wars: A New Hope?
Yeah.
It's
yours.
I'd like to have AR-15 back this year because we don't have a quarterback this year. We got one coming in next year, but this year we've got nobody. We're gonna have to run the ball. Okay. If AR had come back.
Nice. He's making money.
Hey, fourth pick of the draft.
He's making good money.
He made probably, he made $30 million signing bonus?
Something like that. He made a lot. Shoot. All right.
Thank you for bringing up some bad memories.
I was supposed to be Happy Father's Day.
That reminds me why we suck.
It's not my fault your team is trash. I'm sorry.
I said we've been bad for 10 years, but 3 of Dan Mullen's years were good. We won 11 games.
2.5.
Well, the COVID year, if it wasn't we could have been in the national title game if he hadn't choked on LSU. So that was his third year. His fourth year is when it just fell 4 wins. It was his 4th year. That's when they got rid of him.
Mm.
So his first 3 years, we went to New Year's Day bowl games. We beat Michigan. We hammered Michigan. We hammered Virginia. And then we got beat his 3rd year in the bowl game. That's when everybody left. But I went to Alabama. We played Alabama in the
That
SEC
was the
championship
real
game.
last game.
Yeah, that game was down to the last 30 seconds.
All right. Well, that'll be it for Dadalus' Special Dad Day. I'm
Yep.
sorry it didn't end on the happiest.
Nah, it's great. I'm actually having a good time watching them. I've been spoiled by winning so much for those 25 years, and now we've kind of been bad for 10, but a few good ones. I'm now watching with the real coach. He's a good Christian. He's all about care. That throwing the shoe.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
So his first year last year, what he did, he says, all these guys that were here, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. They won 4 games. They tossed in the towel with Dan Long because they hated him. And he found out who the punks and who's not. So they all played. He benched some as the year went on and realized, okay. So that's why over 30 players left at the end of the year. He's like, they left because he told them, see ya. And he brought in character guys with the transfer portal. And now his recruiting was really good this year. And he's really on pace this year. He's going to have the number 2 quarterback in the country coming in next year.
Okay.
That didn't help you now. We don't have a quarterback. We had a transfer from Wisconsin. I don't know why I wanted a quarterback from Wisconsin. But apparently he was a 5-star but never did anything out there. I'm hoping that their offense is boring out there like Coach Dumbass. It is the Big Ten. Maybe they'll let him. I don't know. Maybe he was a 5-star, but I'm not expecting anything.
Okay.
Not out of him. But we got some running backs and wide receivers if he can just get the ball. Because AR, he made a lot of good things last year, but he also cost us. I mean,
he costs.
There are a lot of guys wide open. I've watched these NFL guys break his film down and it's like, oh, here's a touchdown he missed. So and there were guys, Georgia game he missed, and Florida State game he really missed a lot. I mean, but but he also was learning, so I would have loved to have him back and just kind of grow with him.
Too bad he's pro now and making a lot of money.
Yeah, he's pro now, but I'm having fun because I love this coach now, and I'm tired of these horrible coaches with bad attitudes. This guy's he's a salt of an earth. He's like really country. I mean, this guy his dad was a high school coach. His dad caught cancer, and his sons, and he's obviously one of them, was going and doing Bible studies with the players. I mean, he said, look, I was even he wanted to be a high school coach because he wants to be involved in kids' lives. But then he got into college coaching and realized it was the right place so you can still be involved. But his faith is number 1, and that football's number 3 after his family, and that's what I like.
And
the kids love him.
Right back. Hold on. Keep going. Keep talking.
So we'll see. I don't think this year we'll do a lot, but I think he's moving. And people who meet him are signing up for him. Hope he puts some good coaches around him.
And as our verse said early, blessed is the righteous who walks in his integrity. Blessed are his children after him.
Yeah.
Which are not his kids, but that's still a rearing process.
No, he believes it's about those kids.
So in the end, our original verse comes back full circle. And with that, we're going to end for today. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
So there won't be a stream on Sunday because obviously Father's Day. Epsilon's going to be busy anyway. So we'll be back on Friday. Don't forget, Kingdom Hearts Chronicles is coming. So buckle up. We're actually getting in. And Dadalus. And for anyone who wants to know, we will be doing games again. We were talking about that earlier. We have some ideas.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I'm going to move first because we only have 3 weeks until vacation time for me, so I'm going to miss that week. And because of certain things, like starting during that would be bad. And then once we get back from vacation, Bleach comes back. And we're going to watch that. So that's going to kill off time. And because of my drive, it's harder to get back and stuff. So I'm going to wait till I move pretty much in October-ish and everything. And we'll do other stuff. But once we move, then, because that's when a lot of the games we want anyway might be out and stuff, then we'll start to see about getting back in with Dadalus with some videos. So we might do some tier stuff as we go, but until then, it's going to be a little before games, but that's okay. We will do it again.
Yeah, maybe we'll come up with another tier or something else.
Yeah. All right, but until then, God bless. Goodbye, everyone, and we'll talk to you later.
Good night.